Dane Brugler making the case that the Patriots should go after Ashton Jeanty at 4th overall. I find drafting a running back at 4th overall absolutely insane.
Not at 4.
And I would not do it.
Not at 4. You have 2 backs. You got Ramondre Stevenson, who had a bad year. I think there's something wrong with him physically. And it may have been his own blocking scheme. You're back to the normal offense with the protections and the blocking schemes. Antonio Gibson gives you some pop after him. You've got 2 proven NFL backs that you have under control right now. Now, they're making money, no doubt about it. And I don't know how much you're really going to save by getting rid of them. How much of a gap would be between them and Jeanty if you got him? Did you watch Penn State corral him? Like when he played a good defense? They shut his ass down. Boise State's record was really good last year. Their schedule, not so tough. They got hit in the playoffs. They got punched in the mouth a little bit. Not at 4, bro. No. Bottom first round, maybe. Get back up in. He ain't going to be there. Somebody's going to take him. But you're not taking him at 4. Not with your needs at tackle. Not if you got a guy like Carter or Walker sitting there. The massive upside of having an impact pass rusher over a running back at 4. Don't be stupid. No, not at 4.
I was happy to read from The Athletic, Austin Mock, who's a analytics guy, who wrote about Ashton Jeanty as a potential top 10 pick. And what he said is you'll struggle to find a big board in the NFL right now that has Jeanty outside the top 10. So league-wide, they look at him and say he's a top 10 pick.
There's people who feel he's the best player in the draft.
He writes.
Seriously. He's a good player.
But that doesn't mean an NFL team with a top 10 pick should select him. In fact, it would be a mistake. He said the perceived value of the running back position appears to be on the rise. I suspect because of Saquon Barkley's sensational 2024 season in which he rushed for 2,005 yards and helped deliver the Eagles a Super Bowl title. I would say
What'd you ask me the other day?
He did not help them deliver the title at the end.
Yeah.
They shut his ass down in the Super Bowl.
What'd you ask me the other day? Would you trade the number 4 pick for Saquon Barkley?
Yes.
And I told you yes.
And I said
and
no.
You laughed at it, right?
I said absolutely not.
So if you say that, then a proven guy at the next level that is just a couple of yards shy of his career record and being a 2,000-yard back and an impact player, a good impact player, proven.
Mock goes on to write, while Barkley is an undeniably great running back and his projection model has him as the best back in the league, he said he's not the reason the Eagles won the Super Bowl. He helped, but Philadelphia already had constructed the best roster in the league before they acquired him, and Barkley was just a cherry on top. He wrote that before signing Barkley in free agency, the Eagles had done what most smart organizations do. They targeted premium positions, quarterback, receiver, offensive tackle, defensive line, and corner with their premium picks. In fact, since 2015, every first-round pick the Eagles made, and this is important because we always give Howie Roseman a ton of credit, he said was spent on a player who plays a premium position. Their last 5 first-round picks. The corner, Mitchell. The defensive tackle, Jalen Carter. You've heard of him. Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, Devontae Smith. All played pivotal roles on that Eagles team. So you've got a defensive tackle, you've got an edge guy, you've got a corner, you've got another defensive tackle, and you've got a receiver, a legit receiver, which they have 2 of. He writes, also worth noting that in 23, the Eagles could have drafted Jahmyr Gibbs in the top 10 before Philly passed, and Detroit took him 12. Philly opted to trade up to number 9 to get Jalen Carter, is what they did, who obviously has, as he writes, blossomed into an interior game wrecker on defense. And he said the lesson here to be learned is that constructing a foundation with first-round talents who play premium positions remains the ideal way to build. Ashton Jeanty or Will Campbell at 4?
Campbell.
No doubt. And I don't even want them to do that, but, give me another name. Jalen Walker or Ashton Jeanty at 4?
Jeanty's a luxury pick.
Give me Walker.
Jeanty is a luxury pick for a team that has some pieces.
All right, let's make it more difficult. Mason Graham or Ashton Jeanty at 4?
Graham.
Mason Graham.
Give me Mason Graham.
That wasn't difficult.
I'm not taking a freaking running back at 4th overall. It's a horrible case.
No, but it's an important distinction, too, that he's making, right? Like, yes, one of the 10 best players in the draft, but the position that he's playing doesn't make it worth it to take him at 4th overall, even if he does live up to what you think it could potentially be.
Yep.
Not a difference maker to the level that you want that number 4 overall pick to be. And when you have a back in Ramondre Stevenson, that is serviceable. That upgrade to me is not worth the 4th pick, not even close.
Right.
Running backs are flashy. They are, as he put it, the cherry on top. Yes, it was exciting to see Saquon Barkley run the way that he did this year, but that's not why you win football games. That's not how you build the roster. You don't build it with running backs.
No.
Once upon a time, maybe. Not now. Not in the last couple of decades in this league. No way.
Not in the first round.
Definitely not. So, I don't like the idea at all. Not a fan. By the way, Rap Sheet says a lot of teams are not looking to move up in this draft. Tweeting, that's what it feels like. Not a lot of teams trying to move up. Bad draft to be a top 5 pick trying to sell.
I thought Schefter said, too, like, Eagles are looking to move up. They're looking to make some noise in this draft. Like, he doesn't know where or who, but he said keep an eye on Philly, and he's getting that from Howie Roseman.
Well, they have the last pick in the first round, so moving up 10 spots for them would be getting to 20, not to 4.
Exactly. They're not jumping up into the top 10. No. That's what the Patriots used to do, remember? You could be in 32 and you could get up to 21. Those were good days. Now we're in the top 5 picking every year. Got to get out of that top 5.
Yeah, when you win the Super Bowl, you don't have to talk about the draft as much.
Nope, not much.
It's nice. It's a nice sort of thing to have.
Yeah, but they lost some guys, man. They lost some guys off that Super Bowl team. You got to replace them.
Keith in the truck. Hey, Keith.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Hey.
So I was looking at Ashton Jeanty, and obviously you got the 2 guys recently, which is a nice comparison, is Robinson and Gibbs. Those guys, as rookies, had about 1,400 yards combined, 10-plus touchdowns. Last year, second year, had about 2,000 yards overall and about 15-plus touchdowns. That's an awful lot of touches. That's an awful lot of offense for a team that needs weapons. I still probably not taking him at 4, but you're talking about potential top 5 guy if he stays healthy. He is. His highlights are sick. Got to take a look at them.
He's a good player. He's a good player. Not refuting that. You're not going to draft him and have the projection of we're going to hand him the ball 25, 30 times a game. That's not how you play ball at the next level. If you do, you're going to be like a team that doesn't have a really good quarterback. You know, and that's like when Henry was with the Titans and they had the number 1 seed, they were running the hell of the ball, but they had Tannehill as a quarterback. That's why.
I know he really ran hard through the Mountain West, but, you know.
West. That's Penn State over there. That's Abdul
Carter.
Give me a break. Yeah, you're really going to throw it to him a ton? I know they worked a lot on his workouts. Like, hey, look at him catching the ball. Yeah, nobody's envisioning him as a pass catcher. If anybody's taking him, you're taking him as a back with his legs. That's where he made damage.
Extreme comp here, but this kind of reminds me to some extent of the Raiders taking Sebastian Janikowski in the first round. Like, if you project him as the greatest kicker ever, that's fine. But using the 17th overall pick on a kicker is crazy. It's the same thing as using a top 5 pick on a running back in my mind, especially if you have a good running back on the roster. Might be awesome, but the value isn't there in terms of taking him. As explosive as he could potentially be and as cool as those runs look, yeah, I think you want a more impactful guy on your roster.